In the episode about types of information sources, I mentioned that many reference materials are being made available electronically. Just what sorts of materials are they, and how do you access, evaluate, and use them? That's the topic for this episode of Information Literacy. Hi, my name is Bob Baker, and I'm the Library Director at PCC's Community Campus. Welcome to the series of online tutorials designed to help you become a more knowledgeable information consumer and help you to get better grades. It's rare today to find a library that does not subscribe to some reference resources in electronic format. The big advantage of online reference sources over their print counterparts is that the online versions are more frequently updated with new information and also offer more features and types of information sources than you could find in a traditional print format. Online reference sources may contain any or all of the following types of information: magazine, journal, and newspaper articles, encyclopedia-type articles, content from full-text ebooks, dictionaries, multimedia such as images and video, directory-type information, links to authoritative websites, and statistical data. As with pages on the open web, online reference databases are always changing as publishers do their best to outshine the competition by adding more or different types of information or by redesigning their search interface. Besides the rich content, there are also some great value-added features that really make online reference databases shine. For example, you can email articles to yourself and often even find help on how to format a citation to an article, graphic, or video you wish to use in your paper. In addition, the library's subscription licenses often allow authorized users to copy and use graphics for educational purposes. Thus, you could paste in a graphic, photo, or statistical chart into your class research project without having to pay any sort of copyright fee or royalty. Of course, you are obligated to acknowledge the source, which we'll talk about more in the episode on plagiarism and citation styles. Also, you can't use the graphics outside the educational environment or after you've left the college. Where will you find online reference sources? As I've already mentioned, different libraries have different ways of organizing their websites, so when you conduct your initial tour of a library's website, surf around to locate where the online reference sources are located. In some libraries, they may all be located on one page. In others, particularly larger libraries, they may be subarranged by subject. At PCC, there's a link to online reference sources right on the home page. Once you navigate to that page, you will see that the databases are arranged by broad subject area, starting with general resources. In the listings, most libraries, PCC included, usually provide a brief description of what is in the database in question if the title itself is not self-explanatory. As an example, the Gale Virtual Reference Library includes a description because its title isn't all that helpful. The description notes that this database contains specialized encyclopedias and dictionaries on the arts, business, education, environment, history, law, medicine, science, and social science. This is also reflected under the Library tab in MyPIMA. Now, there's no way I can cover all of the reference databases that are available to you through the PCC library, much less all of those that are available in the general library marketplace. And that wouldn't be a great idea anyway, since PCC's subscriptions can vary from year to year, and the market is always changing. And as I've already mentioned, publishers are always making changes to the look, feel, and content of their databases. Instead, I'd like to give you some tips on how you can evaluate any online reference database. For our example, I'm going to look at ProQuest's History Study Center. As with the evaluation of a library's website, you will start on the home page. In this case, we see that the scope of this database is very clearly described. It's a collection of primary and secondary sources on global history, from ancient times to the present day. Among the features are study units on over 500 widely studied historical topics, historical documents, maps and reference articles with topic overviews, multimedia, and articles from journals that were selected for their relevance to historians. There's also a key events timeline, so you can see events in their historical context. There's a search box right up at the top of the page with a drop-down menu to select types of materials. There's also a link to an advanced search page. Besides all of this, there's an Information Resources button that will take you to more detailed information about what's in this database and where it came from, the suggested audience, how to cite material from History Study Center, and a demo tutorial. Another button on the main page is to My Archive. If you set up an account inside this database, you can save searches and selected items between sessions in a personalized area. This is really convenient when you're working on a research project over a period of several weeks and want to be able to access the materials you're using from home, work, or school. Finally, there's a Help button that contains context-sensitive help. This means that the Help button will provide help that's appropriate to whatever section of History Study Center you happen to be in. Here are the kinds of questions you should keep in mind when you're browsing and evaluating a database. Who's the intended audience? What types of materials are included in the database? What is the source of the materials? Is there a specific time period that's covered by the database? Is there a specific point of view? Are there any special features or time savers worth noting? If you take even 5 minutes to scope out an online reference source, you should be able to find answers to these questions. If the information is not immediately obvious, look for a Help or About This Database link. It's sometimes at the bottom of the home page. In summary, here's the suggested drill for approaching online reference sources. First, locate them on a library's website and determine how the library has arranged their subscriptions. Scan through the list to see the titles and brief descriptions of databases for the particular library. And I do suggest that you scan the entire list. I realize it may be expeditious to go right to the literature databases on the list if that's what your research project is about, but you might be pleasantly surprised to find other online resources that could be helpful or interesting to you, whether it's school-related or not. For example, if you own a car, you might love to browse through Auto Repair Reference Center, where you can find manufacturer service bulletins, recall notices, and repair manuals. Or if you're a film buff, you might enjoy browsing American film scripts online. Well, you get the idea. There's lots of authoritative information available to you 24/7, and you've already paid for it through your tuition. So take the time to browse through a library's online reference sources. It will save you lots of time down the road. That's it for this episode of Information Literacy. This episode's program notes will list all of the resources discussed, some suggested additional reading, and the entire script. Thanks for watching.